Women are considered to be feminine. They're also considered to have a passive role in sexual activities. Yet in Zimbabwe, culture has it that the male partner makes all the sexual decisions. But what is happening in our societies? Are our young women and young girls negotiating for safer sex? What is safer sex in the first place? Welcome to Young and Health, where we tackle everything concerning the sexual and reproductive health rights of the young people in and around Zimbabwe. My name is Visli, and today I'm joined by Taku, where we're going to be talking about negotiating for safe sex and how it is going for young people in our different societies. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay tuned. Welcome, Taku.
Okay, thank you. My name is Stafford Chakonda Machirori. I'm a Girls Choose champion under my age.
Oh.
I'm glad to be here.
So you're like an expert when it comes to sexual and reproductive health?
I can say I am, because we've been trained by my age to teach young people on how to negotiate for safer sex, provision of condoms, PrEPs, and the likes.
Oh, nice. Interesting. So I'm actually talking to the right person. So what is safe sex?
Okay, basically when you hear the word safe, you think of protection. So when we add the word sex, we are talking of sexual conduct which is safer for both part A and part B.
Okay.
And it can be protective when it comes to sexually transmitted infections, for example, HIV, gonorrhea, and the likes.
Okay, so when we're talking about safer sex, we're talking about protection from STIs, unwanted pregnancies, and as well as HIV and AIDS.
Yeah, basically that's it.
Okay. So, looking at our cultural setup, mostly you as an expert, you see that mostly on when young people, let's have a scenario where young people are dating, you find out it's mostly the guy who initiates for sex in the very first place. And you find out most of these encounters, they're unprotected. So just looking at it, is it true that our young women have a passive role in sexual activities?
Yeah, basically, like you said, due to our culture and norm, women are usually submissive when it comes to sex. So young men tend to take advantage of women. They do not have the ability to speak out and not negotiate when it comes to sex. They are usually passive, as you said.
Okay, I'm very glad that I'm talking to a guy. How do you think a lady should negotiate for safer sex?
I think the basic thing which should be done is a pre-sex talk before they engage in sexual activities. The part A and part B, the partners should at least talk about sex and say out how they want to do the sexual intercourse or whatsoever.
But is it really possible to actually sit down and talk about sex? It's a bit of an uncomfortable conversation. You know how it is.
Yeah, it can be, but when couples are together, they should discuss such things, because we don't want a scenario where one goes to the police saying she was raped or she was forced or something.
Oh, yeah.
So a pre-sex talk, I think, is necessary.
Especially after that encounter.
Exactly. It will make sure that there is safe sex and part A and part B are very comfortable with the sex.
The way you're saying it's so easy because you're a champion. But for an ordinary guy and a girl out there, it'll be really tough to just sit down and talk about it. But anyways, it is what's happening. And, we're trying to introduce, to make sure that our young people, even young adults, get to practice safe sex. So is safe sex a reality, or we're just talking? It's just...
I guess safe sex is not a reality, but we can make it a reality. Through Girls Choose Champion, we've been taught that girls should know that they have power when it comes to sex and the likes. They should not be taken advantage of by the guy. So I think we should expand the program and teach girls about power so that they can not be abused by guys. They can say what they want, the use of condoms and the likes. So I guess it is a journey. We cannot say it is being done, but we can achieve that as time goes on.
Yes. So, Taku, since you work with young people, how can a young person consent to safe sex?
I think consent involves a lot of things, because I think sex is very difficult in indulging when it is the first time or something. So
Yes.
consent can be difficult at first time, but I think it should involve two parties negotiating, talking about it, rather than forcing someone or taking advantage of someone.
Okay, all right. So you're a young person. How do you know that someone is actually into the act, that someone wants to do it?
I think actually when you talk to a person, your gestures and the likes should show you that the person is interested or not, because an uninterested person usually frowns. So if someone frowns when you are doing something, it means she's not liking that.
Okay, because you get a scenario where we're young people and my partner wants to have sex with me, and I'm also afraid that if I don't give it to him, he's going to leave me. So I just have to. As a guy, how should young guys handle that?
I think young guys should just respect women in the sense that if you force her and then she reports the case, then that's considered rape. So consent, I think it's a major part in everything one does, because there should be agreement between the two parties so that it can be called consented sex.
Okay. You know, just talking about it just puts a lot into mind. It's not really happening. You find out most of the first people, when they talk about their first time, it's usually date rape.
Yeah.
Yeah, that this issue about safe sex, it's very important for young people to have it on their fingertips. So what would you say as a young person to other young people when it comes to safe sex?
I think young people should constantly use condoms, be faithful, and maybe abstain, which is a bit difficult. But I think we
Yeah.
can reach that or teach young people to do that, because it is a journey where you find young girls being raped at parties, like you said, and the likes. But I think young people should be taught on infections, the likes of STIs. You can take advantage of a person who is infected and to get infected also. So the use of necessities like condoms, PrEP, and the likes should be taught to young people, and they should know the levels of risk they have. So they should not just indulge in sex just for sex.
Okay, thank you for that. So how do you think this the best way to teach these young girls and young boys on safe sex, like other ways besides what we're doing here, other ways that you think they can be very useful to make sure that young people get the information on safe sex and how they should consent and negotiate for safer sex?
So I think the Girls Choose Champion is a good program, especially for Mashingo Ebe and the rural, because it has been teaching the young people to be responsible, teaching other young people. So basically, young people should be taught by young people. But maybe further, the program should involve parents, because our culture, like you said, is a bit segregatory and the likes. You can't talk about sex with your parents. So it should expand to parents. Parents should make it normal to see condoms in their son's room or something. It should not be a big issue to see a condom. So I think it should expand to parents and maybe distribution of pamphlets, road shows, and the like, so that young men and women are conscientized about safe sex and the likes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. For more of these conversations, don't forget to follow us at 263UTV on our social media platform. That's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And also don't forget to catch us every Wednesday at 10 a.m. where we give you the best topics when it comes to sexual and reproductive health rights of the young people in and around Zimbabwe. Goodbye.